welcome to Start with Android. This is me, Ritu. In this video, we are going to create RecyclerView using Viewbinding. So let's get started. First of all, we have to enable the Viewbinding. So for that, we have to go to the build.gradle file, the app level file. Inside that, we have the Android section. We have to add Viewbinding over here. Enabled, true. After that, we have to sync our project again. Whenever we are making any changes in the build script, we have to sync those changes. Now, before creating any RecyclerView, we have to take care of these 5 things. First, the XML layout in which we are adding the RecyclerView. Second, the data which we are displaying. Third, the list of that particular data which we have to create, that may be an array list or list. The row layout, how the data will look in a particular row of the list. And the adapter that will bind our row layout to the RecyclerView. So first of all, in this project I have already added the RecyclerView. There is a edit text and a button. With the help of user input, we will add the data to the RecyclerView. So this is our view. Now we have to connect this XML with the activity file. For that, we have to initialize the layout binding. One thing, you have to make sure the binding file name would be same to the XML part, the activity main. So in this case, a binding file name is activity main binding. It is an auto-generated file. Now we have to initialize the binding. So activity main binding dot inflate. We have to pass the layout inflator object directly here. And now instead of r.layout, we have to pass binding dot root. So now the binding process is done. Now we have to initialize this RecyclerView inside the activity file. Initialize as in we have to specify how the RecyclerView will look, the horizontal, vertical or grid. So for that, we have to take binding.rvlist.layout manager. We have to specify that this is a linear layout manager. In that we have to pass the context, that is this. We are not specifying anything, that means it will by default take a vertical orientation. So now what is the next part? We have to create a data. So with the help of the button event, click event, btn save, we are fetching the data from the edit text. So we have to save it in a variable binding dot edit text dot text dot toString. So now we have created the data as well. Now we have to add those data in the list. So whenever you are adding anything in the edit text, it will add to the array list on the click event. So we are initializing the array list over here. It is just a single text, so the data will be of the type string. So on the click event we will add it in the array list, the data which we are getting from the array text, right? So what next? We have to create a row design, the row layout. So for that we have to go to the layout folder. Inside that, right click, create a layout resource file, name it row layout or any name you can give. We are just displaying a text, so we are taking a text view over here. The height should be wrap content, provide an ID, okay. Now what is the next step? We have to create an adapter, right? So go to this folder, create a Kotlin class, my adapter. Now inside my adapter, the first thing which you have to do is to create a view holder. So for creating a view holder, we are creating an inner class, name my view holder. This will accept the binding file. Here in case of adapter it will be row binding, row layout binding, right? So where binding colon row layout binding. Now to define that this is a view holder, we have to extend it to RecyclerView.viewHolder. Now we have to pass the view object over here. So in this case this will be binding dot root. Okay, now we are creating an adapter, so we have to extend it with a RecyclerView adapter. And this RecyclerView.adapter will ask for a view holder that we just created, that is my view holder. Close the constructor. Now as we have extended the class, we have to implement some of the methods. So these are the 3 methods which we have to implement. Now as you know, we have to pass the array list that we have created in this activity to the adapter. So the adapter must have a constructor with a list. The type would be array list of string. We will pass this data from the activity. Now we have to initialize all these 3 methods. So get item count, this will return the list count, that is the list which we are passing from the activity. So list dot size. Now on create view holder, in this we are initializing the row layout binding. So where binding equals row layout binding dot inflate. Here in the case of adapter, we have to pass layout inflator dot from. In this we cannot pass the context directly, we have to pass with the help of parent object, that is the view group. There are 2 more arguments other than layout inflator. One is the parent of the view group, and second, the last one is the boolean variable, that is false. Now as you know, the return type is my view holder, then you should return my view holder. Now we have created already a constructor over here, so we have to pass the binding object over here. Now on the view bind holder, we have to initialize the text view that is defined in the row layout. So for initializing the text view, we have to fetch the data from the list. with the help of the position. And now with the help of view holder dot binding, we will initialize the text view. So the adapter is already created now, and now we are passing this adapter to the recycler view. So inside the click event, we have to initialize the viewbinding dot recycler view dot adapter, and we will pass my adapter. Inside this, we have to pass the list that we have created over here. Now just run the app and see the output. The only difference is that in the adapter class, we have to initialize the layout binding with the help of the parent view group. This is the easiest sequence, so you can uh, follow this sequence and you can easily learn how to implement recycler view with view binding. So this is how it looks. So we'll check if a code is working or not. Hello data. Okay, it's working. So I hope you like the tutorial. It is just a simple normal demo which you can easily grasp. Okay, thanks for watching.